up on OWL TV News. FAU's newly named SG President and Vice President are here in the studio talking goals.
Hashtag goals. Jess, we also have our very own Taylor Smith giving us a sports recap.
Yay, and what's been happening on campus lately?
In the spirit of Sexual Assault Awareness Month, Michael Mora got a one-on-one interview with the department on their event.
And later, we have a full recap on FAU's first ever EDM festival. Stay tuned. Hello everyone and welcome to OWL TV News. I'm Jessica Maduker.
And I'm Ashley Oji. Thanks for joining us.
April marks Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and with rising assault rates on college campuses today, our OWL's Care Department has made it a top priority to not only spread awareness but prevention as well.
That's right, Jess. The department's main message is if you see something, say something. Our very own Michael Mora has more on that.
In the United States, April is Sexual Awareness Month. FAU had several events from April 4th to 7th. FAU takes a stand with keynote speaker Scott Freed, who is an advocate of It's On Us campaign. Freed stressed the importance of consent, awareness, and prevention.
The reason it's important for students to be made aware of sexual assault is that the rules are somewhat unclear. Young adults come to college to learn and also to meet people. And sometimes we cross a boundary that we didn't even know was there. And somebody else gets hurt, somebody else gets assaulted, somebody else gets made to feel invisible, somebody else's life is changed for the worse, and we're not aware of our responsibility in that encounter. The boundaries must be made clear each and every time.
FAU's very own OWL's Care representatives Dr. Cabral and Sarah Deffridge broke down FAU's policy on sexual assault, how to cope with it, and offered a list of resources available for FAU students.
We really want all students to feel invested in each other's well-being and safety on campus. And when they see something, do something. That is our motto on campus. So if someone were to see a fellow OWL in trouble at a social gathering, we want them to feel empowered to step in and take their friend out of that situation, or just whoever is in that situation, and bring them to safety. Or even if it's their friend who isn't engaging in an inappropriate behavior, say, you know what, I'm not okay with that and that needs to stop. We're excited to announce that we are going to be one of the first universities in the country to be bringing in the first and only evidence-based program proven to reduce a person's personal risk of sexual assault.
I'm Michael Mora with OWL TV.
FAU hosted the first ever EDM music festival here in Boca Raton. OWL Fest was replaced by the annual Freakers Ball. FAU's program board sold 2,000 tickets. With this semester coming to a close, our spring sports on campus have had a crazy season. And to talk more about that, we have our lead sports correspondent, Miss Taylor Smith. Taylor, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me. So guys, recently we just had our last spring game over the weekend, and normally how spring games work is our FAU team is split into two teams. There's a red team and a white team. And on Saturday, the red team dominated since the first half, not letting the white team score once.
That's awesome. So how do you think our football season looks for next season?
Well, we have a few seniors that will be graduating. A few that come to mind are Trevon Coley, Sherrod Niesman, and Crevon LeBlanc. We're losing a lot of defense, so our team is going to be very young, a lot of freshmen, and I think Trey Hendrickson will be one of the key players for our defensive line.
So now if you had to make a prediction for next fall, what would you say?
Well, Jess, I think it's a little premature to make a prediction. It is FAU. We could do something in the last minute, who knows, but to put my money on it, I would say that we would be 6-6.
This past February, our Owls took it to the polls and voted Kyra Walters for their SG president and vice president. However, after a recent scandal, there was a major setback in announcing the results. The scandal went even further when nationally known social website, The Odyssey Online, posted an article titling it, SG officials cheat to win. Supporters immediately fought back, calling the article uncalled for and rude. We're here with Julianne Walters and Michael Cairo.
Thank you so much for having us. Glad to be here.
Yeah,
Awesome.
very excited.
So guys, now what's the scandal about?
So, I wouldn't really call it as much of a scandal. The individual who wrote the article ran for the governor's slot and did not come out on top. So she decided to exercise her First Amendment right and go to the, to the Odyssey and write an article and voice her opinion. And I just, I mean, it was really kind of ancillary to the election, really had nothing to do with the process in and of itself. The election process in and of itself took a long time because of like shortcomings in the elections board and things like that were eventually sorted out. Everything went smoothly. The process was sought through completely. But like I said, just some people have their feelings about these. I mean, these are very tough and emotional and very difficult things to do is to run an election. So
Absolutely.
yeah, so people get upset and their feelings their feelings come out, and that's kind of all it is really.
Awesome. So how did you guys react to the article?
When I saw it, I saw the picture of Frank Underwood and then my name in there. I just kind of laughed because I was like, it's just funny to me when student government elections get like, blown up to be more than they really are. I mean, me and Julie remained
Right.
friendly with, all the other candidates and stuff like that through the entire time. I didn't really know this girl very well, but it was just kind of, I don't know, I kind of saw it and then laughed and I was like, all right, well.
Right.
It was interesting. I was studying for an exam, so it just kind of went in one ear or eye out the other.
Now, what do you guys have in plan for next fall?
Glad you asked. Do you want to go ahead and?
Yeah, so a couple of the pillars that we ran on were set from a vision that Cairo and I had together that we kind of aligned with Dr. Kelly's vision for the university as a whole. So one thing that we're going to be looking forward to working with FAU is pioneering for more students' academic success. So meeting with the provost to discuss any issues in terms of coursework or course schedules or research opportunities for undergraduate programs. Things like that, seeing what the students want and being able to communicate those ideas effectively back to him and see, like what we can change in the next year.
Awesome.
So that's like one piece of it. I mean, the really big piece of it for us is, the academics that the FAU needs to rank number one by the Board of Governors metrics, which is awesome. Congratulations, Dr. Kelly. Shout out if you're watching. One of the other big things we want to do is really just kind of cultivate the student experience because we've done, we've already like laid the foundation to up the academics. We're getting more research funding. We're sending students abroad. We're our what was it? It was the submarine club is competing in Hong Kong this year, which is unbelievable.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Diplomacy program just won distinguished delegation.
Yep,
Another award for 10th year in a row.
Yeah, up in New York City. And
Yeah.
then the other thing, aside from the academics, is like the student experience, which is just the traditions, the tailgating and stuff like that. So like the way that we see it is that we're kind of in a unique part in FAU's history because right now people say, oh, I wish that there was all these things like FSU and UF, but I'm like, you don't look at it as the absence of it. You look at the absence as an opportunity to create. So I think that together we can all make these things that'll last a lifetime. So when we come back with our kids in like 10, 20 years, we can say, look, I did that. I made that. I was here when this thing opened. This wasn't even built when it was here. Like you're gonna have so much fun. I'm the sixth person in my family actually come to FAU, so I'm very excited to continue that legacy.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
That's all we have for today's show. Thank you for joining us.
And remember to stay informed for all the latest news stories. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and Twitter.